Spring just a month away, but don't tell these folks. They had a bad case of spring fever today, didn't they? In Chicago and in Pittsburgh. How often in Pittsburgh, okay, do you get to dine al fresco in February?
Yeah, this is not a fever anybody has a problem with.
No.
You don't even need the cowbell. We're not talking about a couple of degrees. In some places, record-busting temperatures as much as 35 degrees above normal. In fact, Chicago hit a record 70 degrees on Saturday. They were all dining al fresco. I bet you had to wait on those tables.
I bet you did. Sunglasses, you had the big shady hat on, right?
I love her look. She is so chic. This little girl in Pittsburgh, I dig it.
Hey, let's take it to Columbus, Ohio, by the way. Gorgeous weather today. And get this, the Columbus Zoo today, they said free admission on President's Day.
Right.
64,000 people showed up at the zoo today. A record crowd.
That's
But they're probably thinking, when they do this, they're probably thinking, it's February.
Right.
Like, are we really going to get that many people?
Yeah.
Not banking on it being 65 degrees today.
That's fantastic. You know, my family, we used to always go to the zoo on Columbus Day. It was always a thing we did, the Philadelphia Zoo.
Cool.
But maybe now all these families, maybe it'll become a tradition. And you'll say, remember last year when we went, it was like 65 degrees. So next year, even if it is 19, they'll still go because now it's a tradition. That's what the zoo's hoping, at least.
I think they are. And let's get personal with the weather, take you right into Central Ohio. Check in with personal weather station over Jeff Blazinski. It's been a while since we talked to Jeff. He's one of our favorites here on the show. Jeff, good to see you. Crazy stuff going on there at the zoo today, but crazy stuff with the weather.
Yes, very much like mid-spring. I can't even say early spring, right? These are extremely warm temperatures and extremely persistent warm temperatures. Very unusual.
Yeah, did you go to the zoo? Were you one of the 64,000 people at the zoo?
You know, they started issuing traffic advisories, and when the police say to avoid the area, there's no sense going. You just, even if you thought about it, it's like, well, no, who wants that?
Now you have a little fear of missing out. I know, you got a little FOMO.
When there's like travel advisors in the area, avoid the area, you're thinking, oh my goodness, like a tiger got out of the zoo or something. No, it's people trying to get in.
I thought, looking out my window thinking something's going to run by, but yeah, did not want to try to just go out and sit in a parking lot on the road, basically.
No, yeah, you don't want to find yourself in the Velociraptor scene from Jurassic Park either.
Absolutely.
What have your temperatures been over the past few days?
Solidly in the 50s, 60s. I'm just pulling up a temperature chart here going back to November. I'm surprised how often we hit 60. Solidly in the 50s throughout the winter. We had a late, I should say, a summer that went into the fall. Leaves stayed on the trees, and it really didn't turn to winter much at all. Only, I think, 4 inches of snow I think we had for the season. Normally we're up in the mid-20s for snow.
Jeff, as far as how long have you lived in Central Ohio? Do you remember another winter this mild before?
No, we're, I think, coming up on 15, 16 years. Before that, I lived in northwest Pennsylvania, so we used to get lake effect snows. There was a time I remember whenever we would just want to see the side of the road. Like you forgot what dirt looked like. You'd be like, oh, hey, look at that. What's that? Oh, that's dirt. We remember that.
Yeah, that was a treat, seeing the curb in your neighborhood.
Spring's coming. Yeah, but I mean, even up here in the Columbus area, it's a bit warmer than northwest Pennsylvania, but no, it's never been like this. We never had leaves stay on the trees, you know, to the point where the frost got them, not the fall actually working its normal cycle. And then I'm not sure if you have the pictures I sent over. We got daffodils showing up. We got tulips. And they're, for some reason, beating the snowdrops, which is very odd.
Interesting. I bet the Easter Bunny's hopping around there, too.
Very confused. I think he's just going in circles. I saw him the other day. Now, I don't know if it may not have been a legitimate Easter bunny. You should probably call somebody about that guy.
Maybe he's trying to chase away Punxsutawney Phil, who apparently didn't know which forecast he was supposed to issue this year. But
exactly.
All the animals, they're working it out right now. They're having a meeting.
They are.
But yeah, just it's weird because I was watching our local weather, and I think we've broken a record for, or if we haven't, we're going to break a record for the longest stretch of 60-degree weather in February.
It's just nuts.
Those are weird. You know, you get a record high. I can remember, back to the original question, if I remember it being this warm, you might get a treat of 1 or 2 60-degree weather days, but not like a week or two. So this is a very unusual pattern. Indeed. It's nice, but I do kind of wish we had some snow.
Yeah. Well, at least you're a winner in that regard.
Exactly.
Right? This is the year. You're a winner. But yeah, wish we could give you a little snow. Yeah.
I'm going to take the positive as much as I can. Absolutely.
Jeff, thank you so much. Always good to talk to Jeff. I think we've got a theme with Jeff, too, because the previous times we talked to him in the fall, he's like, it's so hot here. I can't take it. It's so hot.
He had pineapples.
He did. He had pineapples. It's like
a Hawaiian shirt. He's had all sorts of stuff. So one day we're going to get a cold snap in Dublin, Ohio, and we're going to call him up, and he's going to be wearing a parka, and it's going to be the weirdest thing ever.
He won't know what to do.
No. We'll be right back.
Salonpas. We're the world leader in medicinal pain patches.
Our latest innovation, new Salonpas Lidocaine. Using hydrogel-based technology with the maximum strength lidocaine
You can buy without a prescription.
New Salonpas Lidocaine. Nothing is proven stronger or more effective against pain.
As I was researching my family tree, I discovered a woman named Marianne Gaspard. It was her French name because she came to Louisiana as a slave. I became curious where in Africa she was from. So I took the Ancestry DNA test to find out more about my African roots. The Ancestry DNA results were really specific. They told me all these places in West Africa. I feel really proud of my lineage, and I feel really proud of my ancestors.
Ancestry has many paths to discovering your story. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
Blizzard of 1978, the one moment that made me a weather geek. When I was a kid, I just was fascinated at the weather. I was fascinated how, I go to bed one night and I look outside and everything is dry. Wake up the next morning, poof, talking close to 2 feet of snow. Wow. Like, how did that happen? And I was just at awe at what was happening with the atmosphere, and I was hooked ever since.
Currently in our area, 57 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, low 46. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, high 62. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, showers, low 46. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 70%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coaching means making tough choices.
Jim, you're in.
But when you have high blood pressure and need cold medicine that works fast, the choice is simple. Corseed and HBP is the only brand that gives powerful cold symptom relief without raising your blood pressure. Corseed and HBP.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature-Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check. Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
Okay, let's try.
Silence. It's good to be in good hands.
When you're out in the field, out in the elements, I think it's the greatest thing in the whole world.
It is a cool moment to kind of strap on the blue jacket and head into the snow or to torrential downpours.
Out there in the worst of the weather, we use LL Bean gear. That keeps us warm and that keeps us dry.
I'm beyond proud to put on that blue jacket and be part of the Weather Channel.
Regardless of what's going to happen, weather-wise, people want us there to take them through it. I've always been proud to wear that jacket.
LL Bean, official outfitter.
Suddenlink employees are making the difference.
winter is here.
But we want to make sure that you're ready for this.
So where you get your weather matters.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
When you need us most, there's only one, the Weather Channel.
And welcome back to Weather Underground. Now getting reports of a rescue in New York Central Park. 3 people have been pulled from icy waters near the boathouse, 59th Street, just inside the park there. Conditions of 3 people are not at this point being made known. Heavy police presence there and fire rescue on the scene, but 3 people pulled from icy waters in Central Park this evening.
Has been the story across parts of the Northeast is that thin ice.
We
so
just talked
hopefully,
about this last week about how people are being fooled now with the warmer temperatures of just how thick that ice is, and you can fall through because it's just not safe right now.
Yeah, dangerous stuff with the up and down of the temperatures this season. All right, time now for you to sound off. Social meteorologist Ryan Davidson hard at work behind the bar, looking through your questions and picking a few of us to take a stab at.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we talked earlier about Rodney, and Rodney's question is, about a month ago we had snow and the temperature was 47 degrees.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, that's pretty rare. That's getting close to what we refer to as the theoretical limit, which is around 50, 51 degrees from what I've read in research. Yeah, typically what happens is snow forms up in the clouds, and the temperature is much colder as you go higher in the atmosphere. So that snow can fall into air that's above 32 degrees, but it's going to take some time for those flakes to melt. And that's why it can hit the ground with temperatures 38, 40, 42 degrees. You're really getting to the limit here of 47. May have been some convection within these clouds that allowed it to stay in its solid form at that warmer temperature.
That's crazy. I didn't realize there was an actual theoretical limit of 50, 51 degrees.
Yeah, it's based on evaporation of wet bulb temperature and some other factors. So
that's actually pretty awesome.
There you have
it. Next question from Tech Steve 98. Are we going to see any substantial amount of snow in the Northeast?
And define substantial. And where in the Northeast, right, Tom?
And
I mean, it could really...
3 very good questions.
We got...
We're certainly not
this week. No,
we're certainly not in the near future. Now, as we go through the beginning of March into the second week in March in particular, there are suggestions that we are going to flush more cold air out of Canada down across a good part of the eastern United States. And so I would not count out seeing an additional snow event in the Northeast in that second week in March.
All right.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
That's when the cooler air comes back.
Yes.
Average, right? Next question is from Weather on the 8s. Woo TV. Where's the snow been in Beckley, West Virginia? We've hardly got any snow this year, and I might as well call it spring now.
Yeah, there's a big ski resort there, Winter Place. They want to get that snow there in Raleigh County.
And when it's been cold enough, which hasn't been often, by the way, the storms haven't tracked through the area. Otherwise, the temperatures have just been very mild. You take a look at Washington, D.C., I think they've had 1.9 inches of snow total. And it's all been just these tiny trace amounts. They typically get a little over a foot of snow in those areas. So exceptionally mild
West
conditions.
Virginia had a little bout about 2 weeks ago, and I feel like that's been about
Orson, right? That was it.
That's right.
Well, we really haven't had that favorable track that you talked about. You know, when D.C. gets snow, that's when West Virginia, at least this part of West Virginia, can get in on some big snows across the southern part of the state.
That's right. And looking at the map, the tracks that have gone through that area have been relatively warm tracks.
Yeah. That's what's ridiculous. West Virginia stands out in that map. It's not covered by any lines.
Right.
Yeah. Good point.
Our next question is from Eddie. Eddie wants to know, any evidence that this wet pattern here in California might continue?
Well,
it's been persistent.
This week, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening now and probably will last next couple of days. After that, we might get a brief break.
Yeah, it looks like
a couple of days.
That pattern switch in the beginning of March might do that, right?
It could very well do that. And as you get into March, then and toward April, you're beginning, you're over the wettest time of the year for that area. So you may be going into a drier period. But boy, what an unbelievable flip in conditions there in the last year or so.
Yeah, and it seems like just a couple weeks ago, somebody said, are we going to get a break here in California? And it just hasn't been the case.
At the beginning of the season, if someone told you California would break out of its drought this winter, what would you have said?
Not a chance.
No, we always.
And I think when we get to the end of this, when we look at like the drought monitor graph at the end of this, I'm really interested to see it just being so orange and red for so long, and then all of a sudden,
how
gone,
fast it went
how quickly
away.
it
just
disappeared.
bottoms right out.
Yeah.
Our last comment for now from Jeff earlier. As a former pineapple in previous life and slightly offended by the Pineapple Express, can we change the name to Kona Coffee Express?
Well, then it'd be caffeinated and it'd probably be a hyperstorm. So
I want to be a pineapple in a former life. How do you know?
That'd be sweet.
It would be sweet.
Well, you'd get to wear a crown.
Yeah. If you could be any fruit in a previous life, what would you be? A guava? I thought so.
Probably a guava. Something like a kiwi.
Yeah.
Hairy on the outside, but sweet on the inside.
Yeah, we just have to get through your hairy exterior. That's all. Well, hey, if you want to join in on the conversation, send us your questions using the hashtag WUTV, and we will answer them on the air.
You asked.
Yeah, Tom Nizzle, I feel like you're an apple.
Thank you. Of your eye.
Thank you. Hey, we're just getting started on tonight's Weather Underground. Coming up, severe storms in the south.
6 tornadoes leave a trail of damage across Texas. More on that, and a dangerous storm's now impacting the west. Coming back in just 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 57 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, low 46. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. Tuesday night, showers, low 46. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 70%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up on the second hour of Weather Underground, severe weather in the south.
Find out who's at risk right now as the threat of strong storms pushes its way east.
This system already blamed for at least 6 tornadoes in San Antonio, Texas, damaging home and knocking out power to thousands. We're going to talk live with the survey teams that witnessed the damage up close.
And in the west, another powerful storm slamming California with significant rain, life-threatening flooding, and feet of snow, all likely.
Plus, from record warmth to blizzard conditions, find out who's in a major reality check and who has it coming their way this week. Another hour of Weather Underground starts right now.
Hey, gang's all here. Thanks for staying with us here for Hour 2 of Weather Underground. Tom Nizzle, Ryan Davidson, I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We've got a lot in store for you on this Monday night, a rainy Monday night for those of you across the Deep South and once again in the West. We'll get to the West in just a moment, but let's start.